All right, there we are. Welcome, Shawshank fans. So today's video, we're going to do the Shawshank tour and show you guys Mansfield, Ohio, and a lot of the filming locations that were in the awesome movie called The Shawshank Redemption. So yeah, this is Mansfield, downtown Mansfield, Ohio. I am standing right here in the street right now, but they're celebrating the 30th anniversary of this awesome movie, and they got a big old welcome banner here. So you can see there's a couple cardboard stand-ups, but I wanted to get the opening shot of this banner, and we're gonna go to one of the first filming locations. Okay, with this right here, this intersection we're looking at is where Brooks was getting ready to cross the street right here, and a car slams on the brake. He's getting ready to cross the street here, a car slams on the brakes and almost hits him because he's crossing the street to head over to that building over there. That's where his hotel stay or place of where he's going to be living at. All right, we're going to head over to where he is staying. Okay, take a look at the architecture of this building. Looks like they have some window panes that are out. But built in 1886, the Bisman block. 1886 is what it says all the way up there. Like a Gothic style architecture on this. I guess it helps. I guess when they built this, they resembled a little bit of the Mansfield Reformatory to kind of go along with the look of this. The Bisman building is a site of the Brewer Hotel where Brooks stayed and hung himself soon after being paroled from Shawshank prison. Only the front of this building was used in the movie. So the actual hotel room where Brooks is staying is in the actual Ohio State Reformatory. But this building was also used to utilize the film as the front office of the Portland Daily Bugle. So they used the movie magic to make it look like this is where he was walking into and this is where he was staying. But such a cool building. Okay, I love how they put these movie site Shawshank Trail signs at all the spots. Shawshank 30, but take a look at that cool cardboard stand-up of Brooks himself. Can't get inside of this building, unfortunately. It looks like it's all closed up. No trespassing sign. And I just caught a scent of like oldness or mold possibly. But yeah, take a look at this old building. That paint is just chipping away. This is what the side of it looks like. Look at that old marquee at the top, the Bisman Company Wholesale. There's a lot of character with these old buildings like this. They don't make them like this anymore. And there's a Shawshank official movie filming site. It's Shawshank Trail right there. That sign's usually hung there all the time, but they brought in all these cardboard stand-ups for the filming. This is what the lay of the land looks like as you go uphill there to downtown. All right, let's move on to the next spot. One of the sad things about Mansfield is I do see a lot of these type of buildings here that are just kind of abandoned and falling apart like this. And take a look at this sidewalk that I about tripped on as I was walking up here. I could use some attention. But then you got some parts where they're actually trying and to make it look a little prettier by letting local artists paint on here. So okay, there's the lead actor himself, Andy Dufresne, Tim Robbins. There's the first cutout, and then as you go up the block here, they have some of the other actors in the film. So there's the warden, and then you keep on walking. Now these particular storefronts here were not used in the film. They just have all these cutouts. There's another Brooks, and then here's one of the inmates. I can't really remember his name, but there's his stand up. Take a look at this cool looking alley though, with a half brick and some ivy going on. They got some lights. I bet this is real pretty at night. All right, we'll keep on walking. Take a look at this cardboard cutout here. This is the guy who was raping Andy. And then this is right after he just got beat up by the guards to where he couldn't walk again, and he had to eat his food through its straws, I believe what they said in the movie. I just got done watching the movie last night to kind of familiarize myself. Take a look at this storefront here. Shawshank Trail. They cater to the fans that are coming in here. All right, and this is the lead prosecuting attorney right here. So this is the free visitor guide. Oh, here's one of the Shawshank Trail self-guided tours, and then a Mansfield guide there. We'll go ahead and take that. All right, and then here's another Andy Dufresne cardboard cutout. Well, he's in his prison outfit. Right here you got the lead bad guy when it comes to all the officers of the prison. Hadley, I believe, was his name. There's Morgan Freeman, also known as Red in the movie. I believe Morgan Freeman at the time of this recording of this video, he's 89 years old. So he was like 59 when he was in that movie. Here you've got, I think his name was Tommy. Is this guy's name Tommy? Right here. And then another cardboard cutout of this fella here. Okay, so as I did a little bit of investigating, it wasn't Brooks who was in this window. It was actually Red who was peering through this window and ends up buying a company. These are the same windows that they had used during the movie, and they have not been replaced. So, right here. All right, here we are at the bench where Brooks fed the birds. Take a look at this. I got the plaque there. It says the movie site, Shawshank Redemption Trail. And then they got this fake bench here. Now the reason that I say it's fake is because unfortunately the original bench sat over here, and they built that gazebo right on top of the actual spot where this thing was. So they know that they get a lot of tourism for the movie, so they made this bench here, and they keep it painted every year. They paint it and they keep it up, and of course, this being the celebration, they put this cardboard cutout here so you can be in the same area, the same space anyways, of where Brooks was when he fed the birds, waiting for Jake to come and pay him a visit. Cool little thing about this area here is they got some nice cute shops, places to eat. So over here, there's a look, a lay of the land. Here in Mansfield, Ohio. All right, here we are in front of the next stop. There's the movie site to the Shawshank Trail signage, and we are at KV Market. This is a grocery store where both Brooks and Red got a job after they got out. Okay, right here is the KV Market. It says when the movie was filmed in 1993, this location was the E&B Market, and it has since undergone extensive renovation and is once again home to a full-service supermarket offering fresh produce, meat, deli, and hot foods. So Right here is a mural that you can stand next to and get a picture taken with red. But yeah, it's a full service market. It's got drive-through. That's kind of nice to have a grocery store or market. All right, I went inside there, not much to see. It's completely redone. You couldn't even tell that that's the spot where they filmed the movie. And on the inside, they just have a smaller replica of that big sign right there hanging on there on the wall. But other than that, it doesn't even look like what it did in the movie. But this is the site where they filmed that scene. Okay, here we are now at the Mansfield Reformatory, and take a look at this. They brought this bus in. This is the bus that Red was on as he broke his parole violation and traveled away. But they brought this bus in. Take a look at how that tire is sitting. Like the bus is sitting on a tire. I guess that they left that door open and people were climbing in there. They weren't supposed to go in there, so that lady just shooshed them out of there. But so I was just a few seconds too late, or else I could have been in there to capture some footage of the inside. But this is a pretty cool looking bus.
I guess it's been on display in Alabama.
Right here.
And it had been in other
Let's take a look at the front of it.
But I never
Look at
could
that.
find it. Looked like they said it was in that movie.
Okay, so I just got done talking to that fellow right there in the blue shirt. He was an extra on the scene with the bus here, so that's kind of cool. I got to hear his take of what they did during that day. So he said that it took about an hour for them to film his scene. He was with a bunch of other actors that had to go get their haircut at a specific barber to get that movie haircut for that particular time and scene. And then they dressed you and everything, and then you get on the bus, and then you're not allowed to talk to Morgan Freeman during that shoot. You got to kind of leave him alone. But all the extras, they kind of just sat on the bus, and he said that they went up and down that road like 4 times to capture that scene where they are going through Buxley, I believe is the name of that town. But yeah, very cool to talk to an extra and hear those background stories. I love hearing that part of it. Also, they're getting ready for the Shawshank Trail Run, or I think it's called the Shawshank Hustle, and that's why they have all these gates up right now, and these flags over there says welcome to the I gotta try to get a little closer there. That's where the race is tomorrow. But take a look at this. As soon as you pull down this drive, look at this awesome shot right here. So it's a beehive of activity right now because everybody's here to celebrate the 30th anniversary. There's a food truck right there. All right, now I have a appointment to do a guided tour. Okay, so I just talked to the tour guide that is here, and unfortunately I cannot record during the whole tour of her talking. I'm only allowed to record little bits and pieces here and there, but I can't record the whole thing, unfortunately. I was hoping that I would be able to, so that way I could share it with all you guys, but gotta obey the rules. The landscape in here is real pretty though, and the actual entrance to this reformatory is awesome. Let me get a wider shot. There we go. So I'll try to record as much as I can without getting in trouble. As we step inside, you'll notice that much of the original tile and woodwork from when the prison was first built remains intact, just as you've seen in the film. The Shawshank memorabilia here is impressive, with movie posters from around the world on display. Here's the famous warden's desk, where he tragically shot himself as the police closed in. You can even see some of the movie blood still on the window, a haunting reminder of that iconic scene. The stitched Bible verse is a replica, but the safe you see here is the actual one used in the movie. Now let's take a look at a few more movie posters from over the years and some snapshots from the film itself. This room was used for the scenes where the parole board would decide the fate of the inmates, whether to reject or accept their parole. As we move along, you'll see more snapshots from the tour showcasing the paint chipping from the old prison walls, a testament to the building's age and history. Now, this room here is the iconic Brooks's room, where he hung himself in the film. The woodwork isn't original, it was all recreated for the movie. These pictures show the chapel, one of the more popular spots on the tour. However, interestingly enough, it wasn't used in the Shawshank movie. Here, you can see some incredible shots showing the different levels of prison cells and the cramped living quarters within. Next, we have some footage I took while walking through the cell block. You really get a sense of the scale and atmosphere of this place. This room is where they filmed the shower scenes, and in real life, inmates had to start at the beginning of the shower line and make their way to the end, trying to bathe as they walked. They only got one short walk, and if they still had soap on them, they had to finish cleaning up back in their cells. For the filming, it was done in June, a surprisingly cold month in Ohio. The day they shot the shower scene, they had to use cold water because there was no way to heat it since they hauled the water in. They used dry ice in these grates to create the illusion of steam, making it look like the water was hot. Given the harsh conditions, they only did one take, which lasted 15 minutes to get the shot. Now, here's the spot where they brought in all the new inmates, referred to as fresh fish in the movie. Here are some newspaper clippings from the local paper during the time of filming, along with candid photos of the actors on set. Okay, here's the iconic scene here where he throws that rock through the poster, and then they see that the hole has been dug. But take a look at this little box right here. You'll see that this is the actual tube that they used, and that box is still there. So this is the actual tube used in that scene. Next, we have some more information about the infamous tunnel. Now, over here is the West Cell block. While these cells weren't used in Shawshank, they have appeared in a few music videos, including those for Godsmack and Lil Wayne. Check out the golden toilet used in Lil Wayne's video. Okay, we just got done with the tour. I wasn't able to video too much of it, but now that I'm here toward the entrance of where they give the tours, I wanted to film some of this stuff here so that way you guys could see it. These are the famous steps where the police actually come into this door right here, and then they go up these stairs to go toward the warden's office, where the door is locked, and they find the warden in there, and he shoots himself. But this is the same tile that they had in that movie, which was built in or used in the 1800s when they built this, and it's still here. Take a look at this really cool sculpture, bronze sculpture of Andy and Red. They're doing a raffle here where they're going to be giving it away. Very cool. Wanted to come in here and show you guys the museum store and all the cool Shawshank gear that they have right now. Since it is a 30th anniversary, they got some special shirts there, and I'll show you guys that later. The tree that was in the movie is now sold in little pieces like that, because lightning did strike it and it fell down, so they cut it up and put it up, or cut it up and put it in little pieces here. Check out some of these mugs, coffee mugs here. I got all kinds of Ohio State Reformatory. I got some candles, and then some pictures from the movie here. Right here, these are some black mugs, color changing mugs. When you pour the coffee in them, Then they reveal the reformatory.
I like that though. If I wore something that said Morgan
Brooks was
Freeman
here.
on it-
Shawshank Redemption.
If I wore something that said Morgan Freeman on it, all my friends would be upset.
There's some Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying sweaters. One of the big concerts that they hold here at this reformatory is incarceration. So they do have some of the sweatshirts and shirts for sale here
I do like that.
that represent that, because they do a big haunted house during that season. Here's one that says, "I escaped Shawshank."
Yeah.
Shirts here are $35. There's the 10th anniversary image of the poster. And take a look at this one, please. Homage to the Beatles, famous Beatles album cover. They got Andy Dufresne, Red, Brooks, and then that one fellow that plays the inmate. Security office. Here's another Ohio State Reformatory shirt. Ghost Hunt Survivor.
What happened?
Ohio State Reformatory almost looks like Ghost Hat from Disney. The world went and got itself in a big dang hurry. There's Andy in red. And then I ended up getting this shirt here. This is pretty cool. Shawshank Prison, Mansfield, Ohio. And then on the back of it, Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. Alright, here's some other memorabilia here. You can get metal trays like what they had during the movie. Over here you can get some coffee. Old Sparky's 315 blend.
Oh, I think it's yes. I think it is. You got what? Coffee or something. Oh, like tomato.
Alright, right here it says, "Some birds aren't meant to be caged." Alright, this is the 30th anniversary shirt. And then on the back side, it's got all the stops for the Shawshank Trail. Take a look at these bobbleheads. Alright, here's some magnets. The Shawshank Redemption, Ohio State Reformatory, and it's half of that movie poster. Shawshank State Prison. Alright, and then here's some of the postcards that they have for sale for $1. That's a chapel that's in here in the prison, but they did not use that in the movie. But it's a cool looking space. There's the prison at night. There's some of the rooms that we walked through the tour. This is the iconic scene where he gets beer for his co-workers. Okay. All right, that's a look at the gift shop. They do have this cafe here if you do come to visit. That's open every day. Okay, we're back outside, but I want to show you guys this really cool historical marker. You guys can go ahead and hit pause on this video to read all of that. But this is the money shot, you could say, of the prison, standing right here in front of the prison. showing all of its beauty. Look at it. Such a cool structure. People come from miles around to see this. And then right now, or tomorrow, they're going to be doing the 5K run. And they've got movie posters on both sides with different scenes of the Shawshank. Alright, we're going to take a little walk around here because there's another spot on the side here where they filmed another movie. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad and destroying my audio.
Nice to know I'm not the only one this year. Yes.
Okay, I just got done talking to another YouTuber, a lady who does running videos, and she's running the Shawshank race here, so it's kind of cool to talk shop with her and exchange tips and tricks about YouTube. But take a look at this banner here, and they got all the cutouts. These cutouts look really good. I mean, they're in full detail color. I don't recognize that guy unless he's the banker in the movie. There we go. The stars from the film. That's a cool banner right there to get a picture in front of if you're going to be running that race. There's the star-crossed lovers at the beginning of the movie. They got cardboard cutouts for them. I think mainly because on this particular weekend they were here. She was here. Almost all the stars of the movie were here. So Tom Clancy, I believe is his name, he was here. The warden was here at the reformatory this morning. Everybody's here, a lot of them, except the main two stars. I guess they have never came back, unfortunately, for any of these reunions. But let's take a look at the building on the side here. So cool. All right, over here they're taking entries for the race, but I wanted to show you guys this structure over here because this is another movie prop. So there's a Harrison Ford film. I can't remember what it was called, Air Force One or something similar to that. But they put this structure in place for that movie. I guess mainly because the front of the prison is so iconic to Shawshank Redemption, so they wanted to use the side of the building as the entrance to the Russian prison for that movie. And so that's why this odd looking structure is just placed right here in the middle of this road. Hollywood magic here. As you can see, this is kind of like a plywood behind here. Oh, that's not rock at all. It's like a plaster, and it's falling apart because that movie is quite a few years old. Wonder how long they'll actually keep this here before they end up tearing it down. Huh. All right. I wish I knew somebody that was here during the movie, or somebody that was in production, because I would love to find a spot on the wall where Andy and Red leaned up against and had that really awesome scene where Andy quotes, "Get busy living or get busy dying." If I had to guess, it's probably on the back side of this building. In the next part of this video, we travel to the location where they filmed the wood shop scenes in the film. We travel around 50 minutes to this next location. Okay, here we are in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. This is the Shawshank movie site of the court scene right here at the Wyandotte County Courthouse. And I believe it was right there is where they had the filming scene. Unfortunately, it is a Saturday and they are closed. They're not letting anybody in there. They were supposed to be open from 12 to 5. Unfortunately, they are not. So we're just here taking a look at the exterior. Some beautiful looking landscaping here, but you can take a look at the Ohio historical marker. Feel free to hit pause on that and read that. But it's a very cool looking building that was recently restored. We heard that they restored that Lady of Liberty statue up there, and the top part, that dome part, they recently restored that as well. But they filmed the court scene here and here in this town at the wood shop. They filmed the scene where the prisoners are working in the wood shop, and then Andy Dufresne plays the classical music, and they all turn off the machines and, you know, stare at the speaker that's hanging up. So we're gonna be going over to that too.
Those dirty maggots. All right, bring them out. Here.
1908, and this business was in continuous operation till 1998. They had a devastating fire here in '78, and the newer buildings that you see now are the reason why they are newer. Everything to the north and west burnt down. The company, since '78, struggled for those 20 years to stay in business. Eventually, it was too much. They closed. So another company bought the building. They ran into financial difficulty, and by the year 2000, this place was vacant. The kids, of course, walking home from school, had the perfect opportunity with the railroad tracks and all the rocks. They broke every window out of this building. When April and I purchased this in 2000, we knew they had made a movie here, but that was the furthest thing from our mind. We were approached by a heating and cooling manufacturer to move somewhere in this area. I showed them this building. They said, great, we like it. I said, good, a bank owns it, just buy it and go on with things. And they said, no, you buy it, we'll give you a 5-year lease on the building. So with some hard talking with April, she agreed. And we set about renting the newer buildings. No one wanted to rent this building though, because it had been vacant and it was full, it was a mess. So we set about replacing all 40 some windows in this building. And from there, we had to make a decision on what to do with it. The one company that was renting the middle building said there's not enough parking here. Why don't you just tear that brick building down so that we can have more parking? And if you don't know, April and I, we've never lived in a new home. We've always bought a fixer-upper. We were currently working on a house just one block north of us here, a brick mansion the size of our county museum, which is open today also. The courthouse is only open from the outside today, but it is open tomorrow from noon to 4. So visit our museum, which is just one block from us here, straight up the street, big white mansion. But at any rate, we're pouring thousands of dollars into this old Victorian home, and here we are, we've got this too, that's needing a ton of work, but somehow we make it work. And another old building in town was facing some tough times, our courthouse. Through the years, the pigeons had made their way in, and various people were shooting them inside the dome, put all kinds of holes in it. Lady Justice, half her side was gone, her sword was gone, her scales were long gone. And the courthouse was in serious condition. That was in 08 when all the banks, a lot of the big Lehman Brothers, several big companies went bankrupt. It was a real estate bubble, I understand, that caused all that. Well, here we are trying to get funds to restore a courthouse. And we went to the commissioners and said, what can we do to help? And they said, well, we had a study done. It's going to cost $2.5 million to fix from the roof level up, which includes the dome, the clock tower, the Lady Justice, all of it. And we thought, wow, that's a pretty ambitious thing for us to try, is you have something. They said, well, what about Lady Justice? She's going to cost $22,000 alone. Do you think you can get us somewhere close? And I thought, yeah, we're going to use the power of Shawshank Redemption to see what we can accomplish. So we sent emails, letters to everyone involved with the film in Hollywood, and only one person responded, and that was Frank Darabont, who sent this one-off poster to us. Frank said money, memorabilia, a video, just a support that lent credibility to our efforts, and we wound up raising $15,000 of the 22 the commissioners had in another fund, and Lady Justice was brought down. Took 6 months, and then she spent another few months in the courthouse so all the kids could see her. She had not been removed from the dome for 100 years. And after her restoration, before she went up, there was a time capsule created. And as a thank you to Shawshank, the movie is inside her. So, Blu-ray version, this version, very latest. We hope there's a Blu-ray player around in 100 years. So if it comes back down, maybe they can call on Shawshank again. Okay, enough about why we did all this. Let's talk about the movie a little bit. So there's the poster, 1994, $25 million to make, made $18 million at the box office. Lost money. But the following year on home video, it was the #1 video rental in the world. Made all its money back plus. A lot of people saw it and said, wow, that is a great movie. Let's nominate it for 7 Academy Awards. Didn't win any. Forrest Gump took a lot that year. Pulp Fiction took a few. But Shawshank got its recognition through the years. The Internet Movie Database, which is a worldwide enterprise, has voted it the best movie of all time. And it is #1 for 10 years.
And I always forget, and I told you this before, it was Browder's one worldwide publication took a survey, and you never see that mentioned. And they said if you're stuck on an island thing, and one of the ones was a movie, and I wish I could remember who took that worldwide thing, because Shawshank was the movie that you'd want to be stuck on an island with.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah, no, that's perfect because you can watch it. I don't know how many times everyone in here has watched it, maybe once, maybe twice. I've watched it at least 50 times. We have so many people come here that say, I was the guy in the tar in the roof scene that, we do have a local here that spent the entire shoot, was even credited in the end of the film. But he is not with us at the moment, but he will be. Max Gerber, yes, credited in the film. I am wearing a costume from the movie that I was able to purchase back in '08 on eBay for $150. This costume today on eBay, if you can find one, is well over several thousand. Darabont, who was here Thursday, we honored him for his help restoring Lady Justice and our courthouse. He has been buying what he can when he finds it and donating it to the museum at the prison. And he told me he tried to buy, this was just recently, he tried to buy the Bible that had the rock hammer carved out of it from the film. It sold for over $250,000. And Frank said, if I knew what this movie would become, I would have kept everything and donated it rather than try to make, millions of dollars off of it. So, at any rate, this movie is held in high regard, and we're glad we got what we have when we got it. So,
when the news broke on that, that was my first thing. Even though I'd never met Frank until last night, what his reaction would be, because as you know, being local, we know how much he has donated back, and I thought that had to hurt his heart.
Yeah, he wanted that to be here. But he, at the 25th, he donated one of the rock hammers from the movie to the prison. And it has not been on display since, because they're figuring out how to protect it like it's the Hope Diamond. And I guess they finally figured it out, because it is on display this weekend. First time since it was donated by Frank Darabont.
Did you guys see it here Thursday when he came?
See what?
The rock hammer.
We, in fact, back when Frank was going to donate it to the prison, they called us first. Since we started this entire thing in 2008 and Mansfield picked up on it the following year after they saw what a draw it was, they called us about the rock hammer and said, Frank's going to donate one of the rock hammers. What do you think? And I said it should go to the prison, because that's where it was used. They have the resources to protect it and to display it. And they said, okay, that's where it's going. We knew well in advance before they even knew that the rock hammer was coming. We have stayed in touch with the Darabonts through the years. And in fact, we had an author that was having a terrible time getting anyone to help him with his book. His name is Mark DeWidziak. He wrote a very nice book on Shawshank Redemption. Couldn't get a hold of Frank, couldn't get him to write the foreword or anything that would help his book. And I called up Frank's assistant and I said, Frank, Mark's been trying to contact you guys. You won't contact him. I mean, Frank is the minister, and we're the Church of the Shawshank Redemption. You know, we need the guy to lend some credibility to this stuff. And with the next day, he called Mark. It made the very last day of press, Frank Darabont's comments, reactions, and forwards were finally put in the book. But, okay, other side stories, I'll try to stay on track here. The posters. Bangkok, Thailand, on right, Spain, Paris, France, door poster, and a German poster. You guys will appreciate that, locals. I bought every one of these posters on a British eBay site. So I was dealing overseas. And when I won the German poster, the German guy goes, this guy's in America. You didn't pay me enough for that. I'm not sending it to you. And I said, okay, fine. So I knew we had a German exchange student staying here in Wyandotte County. He was staying with a guy who used to run the hospital, Joe Diatori family. I called them up and I said, do you still have the German? He said, oh yeah, he's here. I said, I bought this German poster, the guy won't send it to me. Can this guy call someone and see what we can get arranged? He called his mother, and she lived 2 miles from him. She picked it up and brought it to us. She came to visit her son in America and handed me that poster. I paid nothing to get it here. But so that's the story behind that one. When Frank was here on Thursday, he saw our poster collection and kind of marveled at it. He said, yeah, but I'm Hungarian, and you don't have a Hungarian Shawshank poster. And I said, I don't believe I ever saw one on eBay. He said, I have one, and I'm sending it to you. And I said, okay, I'll make room. I'll move these somewhere. We'll put the Hungarian Shawshank poster.
So did your friend, your German student, did he make the usual 10%?
No, I said it cost me nothing. They even handed it to me, so it was perfect.
That's a neat story.
Yeah, some of the neat side things that happened. Okay, it's warm in here. Let's move out into the wood shop. Other than one more thing, the doors that you're going through, they are part of a courthouse that wasn't as lucky as ours in Seneca County. They voted to demolish theirs. We removed these before then.
Okay, we're in the wood shop here in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, taking a look at some of the Shawshank memorabilia that they have on display here. They got some pretty cool snapshots from when the movie was filmed here in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Autographed photos from some of the more well-known actors and actresses. That's the director for Shawshank. And there's Morgan Freeman himself. Autographed photo of Morgan Freeman here in the wood shop. And that piece of machinery that he's standing from is actually still here. And then there's a donated poster from the director, donated to this facility. There's the warden, autographed photo of Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Tom Clancy, James Whitmore. All right, here's some other movie posters from around the world. They're getting ready to do a reenactment outside this door here.
That everyone here that it took to make a movie autographed something. This board in this display case, all of the actors that were here, the costumers, the set directors, they're all on this board. Morgan Freeman signed above, Max Gerber. Frank Darabont, the director, signed long ways by the man with the beard, Tommy Gilbellows is right there. David Proval, who played Snooze, is at the top. They got everything they needed here in one day. They were here at 7 in the morning, and by 7 that night, they were rolling out of here. They came in like a well-organized army with costume trailers, lights, generators, air conditioning. They air conditioned this also. But they totally wanted to control all the conditions here, so they whited out with paper all the windows and lit them from outside. You can see a picture here, right here. Here, this is Don Stephen, owner at the time. He was paid for being closed for one day. The revenue he would have generated being open, they paid him just for one day. But you can see the white paper and the lights, the big lights from outside. They did the same at our courthouse. They whited out all the windows, had these giant spotlights. They air conditioned our courtroom too with these giant tubes.
And they repainted it all too, didn't they?
The paint that was there from Shawshank is still there. They have not repainted it.
They painted it for the movie.
I believe they did. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I think they did.
But anyway, they have not changed the color. But what else was I gonna say? Let's just keep moving then.
That's just like Pew Cabin. For any of you guys that didn't go to Pew Cabin at Malabar Farm, that was a grayish, more like the natural mud that was in the film. Frank wanted to brighten up the room, so they painted it white. Malabar Farm, they were going to paint it back, and Malabar Farm liked the white so much, so that's something for you to add.
Did you know about the pillars out front of Pew Cabin? The light pillars, the stone
I
pillars.
heard a story once before, but I totally forget
The
it.
production company backed over one of them, backed into it and knocked it over and ruined the light that was on it. So the production company paid to relay it, and some city worker had one of those lights in his garage. And they were able to, you can almost not tell the difference between the two, but one of them has been totally redone with the light.
I thought it was just the light that got damaged. Like I said, I couldn't remember the story. I didn't know they knocked over the whole thing.
They knocked the whole thing over, backed into it. This is the entire cast and crew. It's really difficult to pick Tim Robbins out of there, but he's in there. If you care to do that at some point, fine. Dave Lessig was here during filming. He's here today. He's one of our reenactors. He is in the paper from 1993. He alertly bought the book Different Seasons Stephen King wrote, that Shawshank Redemption is the first story, Rita Hayworth in Shawshank Redemption. And while they were here, they autographed it for him, Frank Darabont and Nicky Marvin. And Thursday, when Frank was here, he and Dave took a picture together with Frank holding the book. So
That's cool.
31 years later, here we go. We attempted to do a concrete pour, never done this before. And Frank arrived on time. He was here at 11 like he was supposed to. So one of the first things we did was let him and his wife Ray Darabont in. And Frank autographed this piece. These are his hands. These are his wife Ray's hands.
Okay, this is the concrete that the director wrote on, and they stamped it with the 30th anniversary of Shawshank there, and they've got his hands in there. It's probably his wife's hands there, but the Frank Darabont.
We also poured another slab in case Jeffrey DeMunn got here on time. He did not. He got here like 2 hours late, and then instead of coming here, he went right to the courthouse. By the time he made it here, that was hard as a rock. So I see several of my woodshop guys took advantage of that and carved their names. One of our woodshop guys who was here today, very talented, he made these Brooks Hatland signs. This is what it looked like in the film when Morgan was standing here with the carver carving the letters. So So they are not the ones from the film, but they are a rendition or replica. Daryl, like I said, super good worker, but he can't spell. So his first attempt at the sign is this one. He spelled library wrong and left the R out of library. So this is his second attempt where he did spell library correctly, and we keep them all here just for something to talk about. Now, all the machinery in here was here during the film. We don't have all the machinery. When they closed in 19, that was here when we bought the property, was this one. It was too big to move, nobody wanted it, but all the other pieces were gone, including this saw, those saws, those routers, those mortisers.
So did you get this back? Is ain't that the original?
We got, well, what we were told was you'll never find that saw. It can run off a belt. It was belt drive originally. The belt drove it, went to the line shaft that ran the length of this place, but sometime in the 40s they electrified it. They said the Amish bought it, you'll never find it. So, in a little town, what do? You talk to the local business guys. Eric Godfrey, one electrician, who is a big history buff, has tons of photographs. Lou Godfrey, his uncle, did a historic book that a lot of Wyandotte County people, if you don't have, everyone will pay through the nose to get it. Lou gave him all of his photographs, so Eric's kind of an archivist of his own. I said, Eric, we'd love to find that saw. And he goes, I know where it is. It's only 3 blocks down the road at Chuck Paul's little wood shop down there. And I said, you're kidding me. He said, nope. So I called Chuck, do you have the bandsaw that Morgan Freeman was in front of me? He goes, yeah, I have it. And I said, we want to do this anniversary thing. This was in 08. Would you sell it to us? He goes, sure. He said, I'll even bring it to you. He came over here with a forklift, and with pipes, we rolled it exactly where it was. The bolt holes went right back from where it was bolted. This is the exact spot. And then from there, the word got out, and a guy that was working highway repair from down in Louisiana bought these 3 pieces. And he sold them to us for what he paid for them, hauled them all the way back from Louisiana. Wow. And we bolted all of them in place. So with these 4 pieces, 5 pieces, this one was left here, we are able to give you somewhat of an idea of what it was like during filming here in 1993. And we are going to do that in, 10 more minutes? 13 more minutes. So let's keep moving. The machine I told you, the only thing left here, this is a sander that will sand a 3-foot wide board. A lot of people think it's some kind of planer, but it's not. It's a sander. It has drums in it that will sand any width up to almost 3 feet. This is where Gil Bellows was when he said, hey, work faster, you guys are making me look bad. Morgan and the guys were laughing at him across on the other side. Well, when Gil was here for the 25th, he autographed his spot on this machine. Making me look good is what he said. Okay, we are going into another building from here. We're going to take a brief stop at the tree. Oh, the tree is gone. It fell down. It's been gone. Well, we have a piece of it. So if you want to get close to the tree, you can do it here. So here we are at the famous oak tree where Red found the money in the tin and helped him make his way to Mexico. The truth of the whole story, a lot of people think the tree was hit by lightning. No, it was not hit by lightning. A sheer wind came through that area and split the tree in half. What people didn't know were ants were eating their way right up through the center of that tree, and all it took was a stiff wind, and that oak tree was huge. Bunch of limbs, leaves. It split it almost perfectly in half. The other half that still stood maybe lived for a few years, and it died also. So the tree is no more. As far as I know, the only thing out there is a sign to mark where it was. But here's the piece that you see, the part sticking up off of. That's it right here. If you want to own a piece of the tree, take a raffle ticket on this beautiful table that was made from the other part that fell. You can do that after we keep moving. So this is a little gray bus in the beginning of film that hauled Tim Robbins, Fat Ass, Hungry Fish Con, several other members of the Shawshank gang. It was also in another movie called Ray, the story of Ray Charles. That's the paint scheme, you see it now. But in the film, it was a primer gray, and you can see a picture of it on the front. What it looked like in Shawshank. Now you can go in it, but watch your head going in and out. There are 2 autographs in there. Fat Ass, Frank Madrano, his autographs on the one side. Hungry Fish Con, who said, "When do we eat?" and got a baton to the gut, is on this side. So, yes, we own this bus.
Okay, so you found it up in this?
No, we bought it from the man who supplied it. We found it in North Carolina, Williamstown, North Carolina. It was clear down to the South Carolina, almost to the coast. And when we went to get it, a friend that supplied a car for the movie kept in contact with this man through the years. And I called him and asked him if he would sell it, and he said yes. So we went down to buy it. We borrowed a trailer from, I think it was one of the Waltons here. And I didn't know it was too short for the length of this. This bus is a short bus, but you don't haul it on a car trailer.
No.
You should use something a little longer. Well, we zipped along 70 mile an hour all the way to South Carolina, basically. And when we loaded the bus and started back, it started doing this. We couldn't go 50 mile an hour all the way home. It took us 16 hours to get home with this bus. My wife said, "I will never go with you again to get a car," and she never did.
All right, we're gonna go inside this bus and see what it looks like. All right, look at that driver's seat and steering wheel. So evidently there's some autographs in here of the actors. You definitely can't stand up. You'll hit your head. This is the back of the bus. I'm not really seeing the autographs though on the seats. Oh, right there. That's one of the autographs. Hunky Fish. And then here's the other autograph. Fresh Fish. He sat here. So Tim Robbins, being as tall he is, I bet this was a little uncomfortable for him. Take a look at the inside. All right.
When we bought the ambulance in Morgantown, West Virginia, my son and Bob Watchman went. April did. We got So this is the 1941 that was in Shawshank. Mark Ralston, who was hauled, the bad sister, after the guards freshened him up a little bit. He was taken out of prison in this ambulance. And as Frank Darabont, when he saw it on Thursday, he had to tell us the story that before it was time to film, the engine block cracked in this engine. And they had to push it through the scene. And Frank Darabont was one of the 3 people it took to push it. You never see the end of this ambulance. All you see is about to the door because they don't want you to see 3 guys pushing it. Take pictures anywhere you want. Our last stop is the Shawshank Tavern. And yeah, because we're getting close.
April said to look over here. Look at those drawers. She said,
This is our beer on the roof scene that the same people that did the convicts eating around the table in the Shawshank Museum at the prison did. Spire Graphics. April, since we're big fans, and believe it or not, Stroh's beer is the beer they drank in the film. In the actual book, it was Carling Black Label, but they would not print period correct labels for the film. Stroh's Wood, the Bisman family, who also supplied the Brewer Hotel in the film, they were big Stroh's distributors, and they got them to print 40s beer labels. Frank was all about authenticity. He didn't want to show us a beer with a modern label. He wanted something old. So Stroh's agreed to do it. We have Stroh's here for anyone who would like, $3. After we're done, you're welcome to stay as long as you want here, since you are paid attendees. And across from behind you is all the actors, or some of the actors we have met. First time we met Bob Gunton, it was in a play about his life. And after we went to see him, he said, "I'm coming to see you," and he has not missed an event since. He's been to all the anniversaries. Tim Robbins is there with my wife April. That's when we went to Culver City, California, to the Actors Gang Theater. We've been there several times. We were just there a few months ago trying to twist Tim's arm to come here. And as far as we know, we weren't successful. So who knows? Who knows? We met Boggs, Mark Rolston, at a horror convention, Horror Hound convention they call it, in Indianapolis. And after we met him, he came. And here we are with Morgan Freeman in his hometown of Clarksdale, Mississippi. His attorney is the tall gentleman in the picture above, and the 2 of them own Ground Zero Blues Club. If you like the blues and ever want to see a performance, that is like the place, the #1 blues club in the United States. We were there for Morgan's birthday in June. We knew he wasn't going to be there, but we went there anyway, gave him a big gift from the Reformatory and us. And
he's 87 right now.
yeah, he's in his upper 80s. And somebody said his health's not good. I don't know that that's the case. He always seems in good health, very friendly, as you can see. Just a regular Joe, really. Tim was too. Tim was very nice to us all.
So Morgan Freeman was 57 at the time of filming.
Yes. Well, that was 31 years ago. So 56. Yeah. Morgan's fame came late in his career. And last night at the panel discussion, his son Alfonso was there. Of course, he was in Shawshank. He said, my dad didn't make it to the 50s, and then I'm in my 30s. I think I'll just be an actor. You know, he was just laid off or let go from his job of 15 years. And so he called his dad and said, you got anything going on where I can try my hand at acting? And his dad said, well, you can put your name in the pool for this movie Frank Darabont's doing. And lo and behold, his son's in Shawshank.
What part did he have?
He shook the fence. Fresh fish, when they were coming in on the bus. That's how his son out.
Yeah, and he's a guy who, yeah, we're reeling him in.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and also on the parole report when they showed Morgan Freeman and whether approved or just that's Alfonso.
Oh, okay.
That's his part.
I just wanted to tell another story about Culver City. Did you mention that one?
The recent one
Yeah.
where we tried. Tom went with us. Tom's a big fan, and he also on the 25th was a major player for the reformatory. He is now our website guy, and he helps us out a lot.
So a bunch of us from the wood shop had the pleasure of going out to California and seeing Tim's new play that he wrote and directed. And as Bill mentioned, we were going to try and say we're supporting you. Come on back to Shawshank and support us. But on the way to the play that night, we were all hungry, and we only had about a half an hour. So we looked around, and the theater was over here, but it was a burger joint not far from where we said, let's go have some burgers. So we go in, we buy the burgers. We're sitting eating our burgers.
What was the name of the play?
Well, I'm gonna wait. So we're eating our burgers, and then April was sitting next to me, and she looks over at the register, and she goes, now that guy, he looks like Tim Robbins. And Bill turns around and goes, that's because it is Tim Robbins. So I jumped up, we all ran over, and I took out my credit card, and I said, his money's no good here. And I bought his, and he looked at me like, and I was wearing this shirt. And he went, oh, Shawshank. And then he saw Bill wearing it, and he saw April wearing it, and Ron Bailey, the four of us, we kind of surrounded him. And
took his picture with us.
he was really, really kind to us. He wasn't, weirded.
Get away from me! I'm trying to eat. I got a big performance coming up.
He was really, really gracious. But ever since then, I've been calling it the Shawshank Redemption because that's the name of the restaurant we were in.
Okay, back to the back, and then we are house people, movie extras, and a little bit about them. You were given a period haircut, a costume, paid minimum wage, but you ate like a king. Several of them told me for lunch you could have swordfish, filet mignon, whatever you desired was yours. They fed you well, but most of the people that were in it said they would have done it for free, just to be a part of a film, just to see how they do it. And there's our spelling challenge. Daryl, again, remember, he spelled remember wrong, but we like it. Remember red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies.
Okay, this is
Yeah, he was recording
some photographs, more snapshots of the movie, from just candid snapshots, and some of them are autographed from some of the extras that were here. Love seeing these behind the scenes pictures and hearing the stories. It's almost like a mini Shawshank museum in here. Here's the bottles that they had sold that were just like in the movie right there. A new girl for your 10-year anniversary, red. Pretty cool. I do like those theater chairs there. The quote on that wood there says, "Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies."
But they couldn't hang it because the guy spelled Rimber.
Oh, they right there at the very end. Okay, this is the director of the movie, standing with Morgan Freeman here.
Yeah, we were invited to watch.
Morgan Freeman himself.
Oh, did you?
Shawshank Redemption 30th anniversary. There's Tim Robbins and his cardboard cutout.
We live between Denver and okay. We're just like I said, about 20 minutes, so we come over and up all the time.
Hey, did you guys want to take the tour?
If you get the chance now, the big weekend and everything.
If you guys can sign in, and it's $10 a ticket.
Yeah, we've been to
Community theater.
There's the famous Raquel Welch picture that Andy hung on his wall in his cell, and then there's the famous Rita Hayworth photo that he had hung, and then of course Marilyn Monroe. I believe it was the Marilyn Monroe poster that the warden ended up throwing a rock through, and it went through there. So my wife says otherwise. She said it was Raquel here.